This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome. We're out of breath. Woo! Welcome to Chicago. We are at Casa Humilde, 7700 Madison in Forest Park. And I don't know about the boys, but I am exhausted from the nervousness and putting our faith in our kicker. Holy Jesus, another cardiac game that came down to the last second. We have lots to talk about, but it's a 19-17 win against the Minnesota Vikings. Caleb, 16 for 32 for 193, no touchdowns. Swift, 21 for 90. Manungai, 12 for 23. Caleb, 4 for 26. And then on the receiving end, Cole Kmet, 5 for 45, I'm sorry. 2 for 41 for Odunze. Loveland, 3 for 40. Burden, 3 for 27. Moore, 1 for 18. And Manungai, 1 for 14. This was a game that should not have been this close. This is a game where I'm going to put this on Ben Johnson. Yeah. This was the game that Ben Johnson had a bad game.
Steve said it the best. Steve, say it again. We got to what? We got to stop what?
Living like this.
We got to stop living like this.
When are we going to stop living?
Living out of prayer. Hit the Bon Jovi. Hit the Bon Jovi.
Living on a prayer. Living on a prayer every week. Living on a prayer. But no. Before we get into celebrating and being happy with the victory, because a win is a win is a win, and we just beat the Vikings in our division. Yes. Ben Johnson, third down, pitiful. All I can say is whatever he's thinking on third down, it reminds me of Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy, and they're two different coaches, but he's using it's the same type of existence right now. You're going against the grain when you're running the ball, right? You have an opportunity to run the ball, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3. You're moving they're pushing the line forward. You're able to get yardage. You go in shotgun, start getting cute, start going sideline to sideline, start throwing wide receiver screens. That shit needs to be eliminated. I know everybody on here is frustrated because you had opportunities to put this game away and you still can't get out of your own way. And this one falls on Ben Johnson, where you had your chances, third down, get the drive continued, to get things going, continuously calling plays for Caleb. You were the one that was stopping that. And that's to be honest, if they lost this game, it's on Ben Johnson.
I understand the frustration, but I have to stop right there. This was a victory. We can't start the show talking about like this as if it was a loss.
Absolutely start the show.
And I'm gonna tell you what, because
absolutely start the show talking about it.
We are 7-3.
I'm happy.
When did you ever expect this team this year to be 7-3?
I've seen this before.
I understand the frustration, and we can talk about that ad nauseum. But at the end of the day, this is a Bears victory once again. Cardiac Caleb. We didn't see him have to do his heroics, but my point is that last year, this time, that is a loss 100%.
I agree.
And this year, it is a victory. So whether we want to say Ben Johnson is responsible for the fact that we didn't score enough points when we should have, and this should have been a blowout in many instances, and we got bailed out by the fact that the Vikings dropped the ball
You're making my point.
But my point is that at the end of the day, this was still a victory. You win ugly, you win pretty, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A win is a win. So at the very least, we have to start the show by celebrating the fact that Cairo Santos actually pulled it out, granted in the indoor stadium, and we got a victory, another heart attack win, but we got the win.
No, it sounds like you're satisfied. No. It sounds like you're satisfied with what happened.
I'm satisfied with the win.
No.
I think that's
winning
the most important thing.
Winning is the most important thing. But when you're going to go into a deep playoff run, when you're going to go up against better fucking football teams, that shit isn't going to fly.
And I'm not disagreeing with that, but the point is that
wait. You said what you had to say. You said what you had to say. What I'm saying is it needs to be fucking cleaned up. It needs to be cleaned up. Period. Needs to be cleaned up.
Of course,
there's no. Hey, yeah, we got the win. Happy with the win. We're 7-3. They know damn well they should have lost that football game today. If it wasn't for mistakes that were on the other side, if it wasn't for a blown coverage on special teams, we might not be in the position to win. So when we talk about, hey, we won, and I just said it when I first started talking, a win is a win is a win. There's shit that needs to be cleaned up, or else you're not going to have the season that you want to have.
the point is still you still won the game. That's at least celebrate the win, and then we can break down the loss or the bad things.
Steve.
Okay, we won.
We won. Yes, we won. There was a victory, ladies and gentlemen.
I can break down on both sides. We
All right,
won.
go for it.
7-3. We're moving in the right direction,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to start setting higher standards for ourselves
Absolutely.
as well. So this is the thing we know. We don't have no pass rush. Let's just put that.
No, none at all.
Let's
Non-existent.
let's just stamp that as we have no pass rush. But we are figuring out we are overachieving in a lot of departments. Defensively is one, and let's as we talk about, let's give some praise. Let's give praise to that defense.
17 points allowed, right?
Even though they let up that last minute drive, they held on all the way. Now, this is the reason why we're frustrated that the defense plays so well and we didn't tack on touchdowns and points.
Like Ivan said, put your foot on their neck.
So that's and I guess we're very happy, and I think it's good to be happy, but I think we have to set our standards a little higher because we are approaching the playoff type of team, but we can easily lose all this because hey, we got Pittsburgh next week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got Cleveland and we have Philly after Pittsburgh.
Philly's the real.
Yeah, Philly's
So,
going to
and
be the
then,
barometer.
and then we still got 2 versus Green Bay, and we still have 1 versus Detroit, and we have San Francisco.
Yep.
So when we're looking at it, we when are we gonna? And we can play with anybody. Let's get that. If we cut down on those mistakes and those things, and I think the frustration is Ben is this calling. You know he's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like he just needs to get like
Out of his own way.
His own way.
Simplify it.
Simplify it. And I don't understand where his mind goes. And he'll talk about it. He'll put it on himself in the press conference. But then when we get in the game, he kind of just gets away from that. And I just don't understand it. With the Homer one was the killer.
Oh my God.
That was the killer.
How many times do we go sideline to sideline? And Steve's been calling it out week in and week out. There's times where we have an opportunity to run it forward, and they go sideline to sideline, and we get blown up.
We go laterally. Go laterally, and then we go laterally on 3rd down and short, and we go laterally with Travis Homer, who has not carried the ball once this season. Okay, that's one thing. I still would have been bitching and complaining if it was Swift getting a lateral, play to the side. I'd be like, what do we? But then on top of the cherry on top was Travis Homer, who has not even played. So it's those things. I'm just wanting. I like what the brilliance of Ben Johnson, and we know he's brilliant. He's gotten this offense, 350 yards total offense, and I mean, we just are in a better. We understand we're in a better place,
absolutely,
as a team, and we're moving in the right direction.
Right.
But it's just. We just want to. We got to hold ourselves. I think we all know we got a good team.
I think we understand that you want to be better, but I also think of this as a building block game.
Yes.
You knew, and like I said in the first half, he did a lot of things that like we felt were a little cute, and then we says, okay, now you have to sit there. And the fact that they only got 3 coming out of the half when you got the ball. That was you needed that touchdown.
But how many of these games are starting to look the same?
Yes.
Even though we're winning, and that goes to the culture of this team.
This is what.
And their,
but doesn't that tell you have a style?
No, but
that you can come back no matter what.
No matter what, we can't keep. We're not.
Not against better teams.
That's going to run dry.
But
100%.
I've seen this. Like I said, why I alluded to him as Matt Nagy, and I don't think he is Matt Nagy as a head coach. I think he's better than him. But Matt Nagy couldn't understand on 3rd down how to get the first down. It was always a trickery play. It was always a jet sweep. It was always something different. And that's exactly what I'm seeing in the past few weeks from Ben Johnson. You get in 3rd and short, and you're trying to run a trick fucking play every time or a miss. Like, no, bully these teams. Let them know, even if they know what you're going to do, right? See, like, even if they know what you're going to do, run it down their damn throat.
Well, this is where it got a little confusing at the end. Even though we got the field goal, it's like we started going in with tight formations, and we brought all those linebackers and safeties into the box. And we were very fortunate that we didn't lose a bunch of yardage and back us up. We were very fortunate. And I was just like, why aren't we spreading them out? Like we usually do. We spread 3 receivers out, and he boxed everybody in and they were just. I mean, even when we had 3 receivers out wide, they were blitzing off the edges, and and Brian Flores is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
It is a tough matchup for a team like that. But like, I think it is a learning lesson, but like it has to stop being learning lessons, and it has to be, can we, because that's what we want to see. The big step, the next step is putting a game together that we pull away from teams. That's the next, that's
a complete game.
It's like a video game. You hit your objective marks. I think we understand we can come back, right? We understand what this team has a fortitude, and we're stacking some wins. The next achievement is to put teams away, and we had multiple opportunities. And that's all we look. Let's build off of just getting better at that, but we're starting to stack these up, and it's going to run dry, and we don't want to see it run dry. I think that's what it is.
What I wanted to get to is JJ McCarthy, another big fourth quarter.
Yes.
That scoring drive, right? They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. They scored 21 on us on the other day, the first game.
I would push back a little on it being just JJ McCarthy leading that. I mean, he did what he had to. He did his job, right?
Right.
Like, he did his job. That was another Bears giving the team the opportunity.
Yeah, opening the door for them. Right? Yes.
Another time where the Bears opened the door for him and gave him a shorter field, gave him every opportunity to go ahead and succeed. That's why I'm so frustrated. That's why I'm like, hey, we're winning and I'm happy. I mean, who was the loudest one here when we kicked when they got the field goal? Me. So it's like, yeah, I understand we're winning and I love it, but my goal isn't just making a wild card playoff. My eyes and for this team
We are
with
in position.
it isn't just right, but that's not the goal. The ultimate goal is to get into the playoffs as a number 1 seed, dominate your competition, and get to the Super Bowl. That's my goal. And right now, it's just not. It's not the complete team that we want.
That's a great goal. But here's the thing that we think we all across this table have to understand and accept as sports fans, as athletes, is that it is a building block. You look, like I said, my main thing is that look at last year, look at these games when it comes down to the final drive, when it comes down to the final play of the game. How many times did we lose those games? In this season, where I will completely abolish Caleb Williams back last season. Erase that from your memory, right? Okay, great. You got a warm-up season. Now you're playing for real. Now you look at the people that they brought in, the draft picks that they made, they're being more aggressive on bringing in offensive talent like Colson Loveland, like the fact that you brought in Roma Duze, like you brought in Kamanungai. And you see it right here developing before your eyes. So while we're frustrated with the things that he didn't do right, I would like to just think about this as a building block, because I think right now we're playing ahead of schedule. I think next year, I think this right now
we're playing with house money.
This is the 2020 Cubs, not the 2016 Cubs.
Right.
We
But
know
like,
that.
again, I don't want to put a sprinkles on something where I don't see it right. Like if it's a shit sandwich, I don't want to put sprinkles on it. So like when I say Ben Johnson, your play calling was shit on third down, that's because it was shit on third down, not because it was like, you ran the ball, they stuffed you, no, you were calling plays that weren't fucking clicking and weren't in the rhythm of the offense. It was like you decided to go. You decided to go. Excuses. I already.
He's always been a play caller, but he's always been a play caller.
I've already said that Ben Johnson is a work in progress as well. But if this is multiple weeks back to back, we're third down, you're not calling the right plays. That's something you need to critique and point out.
And that's something you can fix.
Yeah.
That's part of the learning process. Making mistakes is part of the learning process.
7 for 18 on third down efficiency is a bad number. Look,
but listen to this. When you let me put you in the mindset of a player.
Mm-hmm.
You are happy. Once again, they're gonna go in there. They're gonna be happy. But there was a lot of frustrated players that you saw on that sidelines. Number 1 being Caleb Williams. If you did not watch him today, players dropping balls for him. And I think there was a little frustration with him with the play caller. I'm sure it is. And we talked about that at halftime,
yes,
right?
we did.
What are you looking at each other like, Ben, run this thing down? And we know Ben is an excellent play caller. But in the huddle, we might be like, Ben, why are we going sideways?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm a better play caller than Ben. That's his job, and he's excellent at it. And that's why he's getting paid a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben, run it down, because sometimes the coordinators get cute and they just, when they're super creative, they outthink themselves. And he's just, I'm just a little tight with how he keeps doing the same thing.
Mhm.
And I hope that's something he learns from in the first year coach, that those little tendencies, the one to call this spicy play or just because right now there's nobody telling him not to do it. That he calls the play, that's it.
Yep.
There's nobody challenging him. And you could see his personality that he's headstrong.
That's what I asked you during halftime.
And
Yeah.
then when he comes, he decompresses in the press conferences. And so I think it's just we see something like, hey, sometimes, hey, this is the 2015 Cubs, but we see the writing on the wall where we just need to keep winning and keep building. Let's see more. We need to see more if we're going to be the 2016 Cubs.
So is your frustration coming out of the fact that you see the potential?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
That you look at the potential. That's why someone's in AAA and not majors. You see that potential, and you're like, okay, here's the time.
Yes.
I listen. I will not admonish any of the mistakes. I'm just saying, it's like, look, man, we got to be happy. Look at 7-3 in this team.
No, we're happy.
No,
Who expected this team to be set right now, this second in time?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
This second right now, was it 3:30 Sunday? Bears are in first place, baby.
Right now.
That's why I said 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm being fair, but at this exact moment in time, the Bears are in first place in our division. And we got to be happy for that, at least.
Yes.
Don't get me. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Look, defense, two interceptions, only allowed one touchdown, 150 yards. Right? We kept their rushing game low. Aaron Jones is 70 yards. Jordan Mason with 45. He did get that touchdown. But that's my point, is that we could have absolutely done a lot better. I think the game was really on the offense to do a lot better than the defense, because I think the defense did a phenomenal job today.
Hey, you know who we got to get the flowers to? The special teams at the end of the game.
Duvernay.
No. They
Duvernay.
I'll give it to Duvernay. I'll give it to Duvernay, not the specialty. I'll give it to one person.
He's on there. Hey, Cairo hit it.
No, I'm gonna tell you that the return that was set up was beautiful. So I know we just seen Duvernay running, but I don't think everybody's seen when they did the replay. I'm looking at the return set up, executed brilliantly. Duvernay is just not outrunning people.
You need blocks.
That was a really good schemed. I'm not letting Hightower off the hook for all that he's done this year. But
or lack thereof, right?
But it's a team game, and they needed to come through, because who knows if Caleb would have had any more bullets left for a 50-second comeback.
Right.
With a team blitzing in the way the offense was not looking. Now I know Caleb could cut it in, but hey, it was great to see the special teams pick that up, because even when we got after we got that return, we kind of almost screwed it up still.
Yeah, you had 25 seconds, 3 timeouts.
No, you had it was 35 seconds.
35 seconds, 3 timeouts. Why are they not running down even closer for this kicker who can't kick at 45 yards?
And it was just unsettling, because you knew that Carroll has some struggles. He just missed a 45-yarder.
Right.
Almost tried to push it the same way, but thank God it went through the uprights. But again, I just feel like at times this play calling gets a little too cute, and then at times on defense and offense they get a little too complacent.
I think you said it right. Unsettling.
Yeah.
And you said in that situation, I think it gets a little unsettling knowing that, man, we look damn good when we can just put it away. That's the next step we want to see. Even if we can still play at a 2015 level Cub, but we got to play a little bit better. And it's fun right now. Don't get it twisted.
Whoa.
That's the one thing I wanted to say is, like, we were so excited when they won. I was pacing around. I know Ivan was like ready to pull his hair out. But I mean, like, that was the thing, is like at the end of the day, it was a win. It's like, okay, here are the bad things. I'm like, look, at least celebrate the win, right? I get it.
For a second.
Our frustration is based on the fact that we see how much potential this team has. And don't get me wrong, we saw them getting cute when they said they started throwing the ball to Smith with an E, and we're like, who the hell is Smithy? Like, I never heard of that in my life. Right after that, here comes Travis Homer, and we're like, bro, this might have well been Homer Simpson's. Who cares? Like, what are y'all doing? And we get that. I think the philosophy that Ben Johnson has is like, I'm going to get the ball to everybody. So if you're playing any Bears player in fantasy, forget it, because they're not going to get the yards that you think they're going to get, right?
But it comes down to personnel too, right? Like you
100%.
have to have the right personnel. Like if you're going to run, like let's say Travis Homer is a third down, but let's just use Travis Homer. Just use him as any third down back. He's not Travis Homer. He's a third down back, right? But if it's a third down back that Ben Johnson wants, if it's a third down back and the right guy at the right time, maybe that guy goes ahead and makes a play. But right now, but right now, I don't think it's a cute. I'll say this:
he's trying to catch you off guard with a guy you haven't seen all game.
That could work. But I think it's personnel wise, he's not even trying to catch you off guard. He just wants to go ahead and run the play. So for me, I'm just like, hey, find your guy, because Travis Homer, Roshan Johnson,
not it.
No. Like it's just not it.
It's Manungai. And the fact that he's not getting the amount of carries that he should.
Listen, Z practiced how to say his name so well. He's got it on point.
That's right.
Use him. They have to use him.
They have to use him.
He figured it out.
12 carries for 23 yards from Manungai. And again, we've been saying Manungai is our guy. And it's Ivan's guy. Yeah. Again, they found a way to win the game, and that's what's important. Yes, we are frustrated with a lot of things. This game was dominated by the Bears with time of possession, which we talked about. They ran the ball very well with 90 yards from Swift. Great. Manungai got a touchdown. I wish they would have used him a little bit more. No problem. The ball was spread around. There was a lot of drops. DJ Moore dropped one dead in the numbers. Dead in the numbers. That needs to be cleaned up by the wide receivers. A lot of drops. And you can see Caleb getting frustrated because, like, dude,
Caleb has no touch. And don't get me wrong. If it hits your hands, I said this before the game. If it hits your hands, it should be a catch. Caleb got to learn a little bit.
We're in the NFL. Did you say that about Brett Favre?
I don't care about Brett.
Oh yeah, when he was rifling those passes,
he never
make the catch.
Just make the Luther Burden drop. Like I said, these guys just make the catch. But again, I agree with they spread it around well. I don't need to see fucking Caleb blow people away with his stats. What he did was he protected the football. He didn't turn it over.
Yep.
He hit the guys that he needed, when they were open, when he had to. And to be honest, he did what he had as a quarterback. He did everything he could to keep his team.
He even hit the release valve.
Exactly.
He hit the release valve. He threw the ball away. Everything we've been talking about for the past 9 weeks of what he needs to improve on. He's improving game to game.
We did see some of the bad habits where he's just doing his tornado act, and then
I don't know if we saw. I don't know if we saw it necessarily. I don't know if we saw any, like, he threw the ball away. To be honest with you, I think he had a better game than just like trying to be a superhero than we think, because when he did get pressure, he wasn't trying to force it. He threw the ball away multiple times.
He did.
So like not saying that he could make a maybe one of those two decisions on those sacks he could just take off or whatever, but when it came to pressure and he got outside the pocket, when he didn't see anybody open, he got rid of the football.
He did. He did. But he still did the was it
was that one play where he was running around. Yeah, there was nothing left. Yeah, there was nothing left on that.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, we're not, we talk about not nitpicking. You can't nitpick. I mean, he's saving us out of a lot of sacks.
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, I think the focus is we're a team in building. We're a professional team. You're a professional football team, and you're winning games. So you got to start holding ourselves to a higher standard. We know we could win the close ones. Mm-hmm. Can we start winning and putting teams away? When we had control of this game for all 3 quarters,
and that's again,
and we almost did a repeat from the first game. Now this is the difference from this team. They were able to pull it together, make big plays at the end, and win. And that's their identity. They got an identity, and that's something you want them to build on. But part of building into something in the future is doing it now. Mm-hmm. And that's learning how to put teams away here and there. You're not going to win every game, but let's learn how to start putting teams away. That also goes into your culture and what you're trying to build as well. So I think that's something that this team has to start learning how to do it. This year, we have to learn how to put a team away this year, which will go into next year, will go into later on this year, will help us possibly if we do make the playoffs, then maybe because once you in the playoffs, it's 0-0.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't saying in there to be like, okay, we here, we're good, and we could build. No, we're trying to. Hey, you can make a magical run. You never know.
But
With no pass rush and all, and on top of us possibly getting people back.
I would say, and I agree with you, Steve. The one thing that I would say though, in the playoffs, you need a complete game. Like you can't. It's not. Oh, we play 3.5 quarters and that's good enough. No,
you can't win like that.
You can't win like that. You're gonna get beat if you don't play a complete game in the playoffs. But one thing I do like with all the challenges that we've faced and everything like that, this team, as young as it is, it's fighting. It's getting a taste of of winning. It's getting a taste of hanging around. It's getting a taste of being involved in a playoff situation. I think as a young football team with a young head coach, this is probably the best scenario I would consider, because we're struggling, and trust me, I'm frustrated because like you said, the talent, right? We see the potential, but again, if you're going to do this, you have to be complete, and I just don't think that this team can be totally complete until you get into this offseason, you get into the draft, and we start really drafting these ugly big monsters up front that can dominate and help us win football games.
Absolutely. But, like you said, we have things that are in our control. And that's what's in our control is our play calling, our execution. And we had an opportunity for that. And I think that's the frustrating thing.
Yeah.
We win. We're 7-3. We're getting ready to come back home against Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers did get hurt today, so I don't know exactly what's going on. And
I hope he's back.
I hope he's back. Because I want that dude.
We want to beat We want to beat him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two things, right? So like I understand that we're frustration. Our frustration is based on the fact that we see the potential in this team, and we're looking forward to them drafting the big uglies to come down to rush your opposing quarterback, to get there and get dirty and get ugly and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we can only focus on this current roster. That we have to look at what they're doing currently with what they have right now, because whether whoever is healthy or injured, I will tell you this team has had a wealth in the fact that they haven't been injured on the offensive side. You can try to make up for defensive deficiencies with overcoming stuff on offense, but once you lose an offensive player, you're almost done. Right, you get a team. You look at what happened to the Giants. They love Cam Skadaboo come out of nowhere, and they lost him. You got Malik Neighbors, who had an ACL. You got Jackson Dart, and look at them. They have just as much potential as we have when you look at them overall. But I will tell you something that's very surprising, something that we talked about before the game started, and that's passing the ball around to different receivers. 7 different receivers, including 3 different tight ends, caught the ball today, and can any of you just off the top of your head tell me who was the leading receiver in receptions today? Anybody?
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet, the guy that everyone left for dead once they realized that they drafted Colston Loveman. You look what he did. He only had 45 yards, but he did what he needed to do. He got a couple of first downs by actually pushing through those tackles, and that's the thing that he does the best.
That's not the thing that he does the best.
What does he do the best?
He can catch the ball, but he does not run through tackles. I'll tell you that much.
That's a Loveland thing.
That was added. Yeah, Cole Kmet had his best game of the season.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
And it was
5 for 5 on target.
And he was playing physical.
Yes.
And he had not played physical like that. I don't think he's
never played physical like that.
He's had 2 touchdown games and all that, but I've never seen him
run through a cornerback tackle.
Yeah, lower the boom.
He gave somebody a concussion.
Hey, maybe because you see Coastal Loveland starting, and then competition breeds success.
Yes.
And we talked about how Swift has come out and trying to run the ball even harder because Calvin Nunn got.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you want on the team. You want that competition. You want to do better than the next guy. You want to eat. So great.
Cole's I don't disagree with that.
And we need him. We need him.
5 targets and he caught everything.
12 personnel is a big thing in Ben Johnson's offense. So you don't ride off and tell Cole Kmet to get out of here because you don't know. You get them together, and you have games like this where he contributes to a win.
Now, on the flip side of that, real quick, we talked early before the game and at halftime about Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze 6 targets today, 2 catches. The only reason he's second on the chart is because he has 41 yards versus Colson Loveland with his 3 receptions and 4 targets for 40 yards. Rome Odunze's God, the ball hits your hands. DJ Moore had one that was in his bread basket and he let drop to the ground. That we were lucky. We were lucky at the amount of passes that the Vikings had in their hands and dropped, whether across the board. I don't care who it was, but the Bears got to clean that up. That's the point of contention that I'll make, is that when it hits your hands for the Bears, you got bailed out by the fact that the Vikings could not hold on to the ball when it did hit in the hands. But you had the same problem in any other scenario. You got short-handed receivers. You had short-handed tight ends and running backs in another team. You're not going to win this game because of that.
Ivan, at the end of the day, as we close this this episode out, who are you giving your flowers to for the team?
The defense. I mean, to be honest with you, they played their asses off. They should have. I think it should have ended with a 3-point score for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think they should have ever gotten that
those 14 points in the second half.
Exactly. But I would give it to the defense. They played their asses off. I mean, they kept the Minnesota Vikings at bay enough for us to win the football game. And again, like that last touchdown, like what else? Like at the very end of the game, they give up a touchdown. Like I can't put on. They played their, like I said, they played their asses off.
2 takeaways.
Two takeaways. They were in McCarthy's face a little bit, but like Steve said, this pass rush needs to be fixed.
It needs to get home.
Again, but I will give my flowers to the defense for keeping this team in the ball game.
All right, I'm going to agree with you. My flowers do go to the defense. Again, giving up only 17 points. I know 14 were in the fourth quarter. We talked about earlier, but if you look at the past games where they gave up 20 to the Giants, the Bengals game with old man over there gave 47 to 42. The Ravens 30 points, and then you look at the Saints. We only gave up 14 points. Commanders 24. So if they can keep these teams to 23, 24 points and below, and we can start scoring, because in my opinion, the Bears should have had easily 30 to 35 points in this game, and it should have been a blowout. It should have been 35 to 3. But we continue to let these teams come back in the fourth quarter, and now we're literally biting our nails and digging our toenails into the floor. Sorry, Casa Humilde. We left some marks on the floor, and because we're waiting for the last second, the Caleb, cardiac Caleb with his Superman cape to get the win for us, or relying on Cairo Santo or Moody to kick a game-winning field goal. This needs to be cleaned up on the offensive side. The pre-snap penalties need to be cleaned up. The legal procedure? What was it?
Legal procedure,
legal formation. Yeah, we have 2 of those. Like that's uncalled for. Like, where to line up. The ball's there. Step back 1 step. There you go. So for me, it's gotta be the defense who's been carrying this team for a little bit, even though they're a walking wounded, because we have a lot of players out.
Well,
all right, so I'm going to give flowers to 2 players here that we actually mentioned previously. And number 1 is Noah Sewell. He had 10 total tackles, 4 solo. We talked about TJ Edwards being out for the game. That was the name that came up, and we've seen him have these weird penalties, like he hit on the quarterback the previous week. The weird little things that he does that it's not quite TJ Edwards, and we're used to in that position. 10 tackles for him. Another guy that has gotten kind of shit on a little bit for the Bears is Tremaine Edmonds. When you look at him compared to the fact that we see Roquan Smith do in Baltimore, he was supposed to be the replacement, him and TJ to come into that spot. And when you look at what TJ Edwards is over the time versus what Tremaine, people have been shitting on Tremaine over the last couple of years, but he had 9 tackles today, 5 solo. So, and Kevin Byard with another interception. Come on. Like Nahshon Wright, I talked about him. We were talking about him when he had an interception. I said, doesn't he basically look like a failed wide receiver? How big he is, and yes, we know that's what a lot of corners, a lot of safeties.
That's how you end up there. Yeah,
he's so big. You don't see guys that big, and that I'll give him flowers for that as well. Because again, just going down the line, the defense did a good job. Made JJ uncomfortable. Got a couple interceptions on him. Caleb took 2 sacks today, so that's the other side of that, but. I think overall we have to give the defense their flowers for what they were able to accomplish today.
Steve?
Yeah, we're giving a lot of flowers to the defense, and I'm going to stay on that side as well. Defense as a whole, but I'm going to focus on Nahshon Wright. he gets a lot of bad flack, and I think we forget that he is our fourth corner. He was supposed to be a fourth, fifth corner who has moved pretty much into the number one spot because of injuries. And I think we, number two now to Tariq Stevens, but like at one point he was the number one corner when Tariq was out. And he finds a way to get his hands on ball. He might get beat. He might be playing soft coverage. He might do X, Y, and Z, but he's gotten his hands on some interceptions, on some fumbles in key situations, that interception in the end zone where they took a shot. I think we need to get and a guy like that who's getting all this exposure and getting these reps. So when you start getting hopefully Jalen Johnson back and Kyler Gordon and now Tariq got hurt again, I think, in this game, so we got to look at that. But if you get him back and now you got him as your fourth corner, third corner, it looks pretty dang good based on that the fact that this guy can get his hands on the football. And then one more point, I think when he got the interception, we was taking the knee. We thought he might have been hurt. He was actually praying for his coach, John Bean, who who died from a shooting at Langley College out in Northern Cal, where I played in Northern Cal and Drinko. So I know Coach. I don't know him personally. I just know of him and his reputation. So that was him giving homage. Him and his brother both played at Langley College. So that was him praying that RIP. Prayers the Langley community and the Oakland community and John Bean, Coach John Bean's family. But Nahshon Wright has been a bright spot, for a defense that's undergunned, being the fourth corner, having no pass rush, having linebackers down. You can't forget those things when it comes to this defense. And hopefully as we get guys back, as I say, I would like to see us add and not subtract. And it seemed like we might have maybe had a couple subtractions after this game. It's just been tough with this defense, but hopefully we get some ammunition as we move forward to help this team. But right now we don't really have a pass rush, but we can add in other areas that might help. But defense as whole, kudos to them because they're the reason why we were able to win this game.
Nahshon Wright with 2 interceptions in the last 5 games for a fourth corner. I mean, that's pretty impressive considering the fact that you're not getting the playing time that you normally would as a starter.
You know what, boys? This has been fun. We got a Bears victory. We got some smash burgers. Oh, yeah. We got a great beer here at Casa Humilde, 7700 Madison in Forest Park. And tomorrow we are live again at 7:30 for the True Chicago Sports Fans podcast. We're going to cover all Chicago sports. And then you can tune over to the Big Steve Show.
Yeah,
what time?
Bear Down, Big Steve. We're going to be on at 8:30 tomorrow night, Central Time.
All right, so we're going to sign off and bear down, baby.
Swish.